Morning everyone, so welcome back to my channels. So today is the Saturday, sorry. So I'm very happy to sit here and talk to you guys about the continue my works. So today's subject is we will talk about AUTOSAR Blockset, which is very famous for in the automotive industries software. So all of engineer need to I think we need to learn about too much about AUTOSAR Blockset. So let's discuss about today. So the first one we will see the main website of Matlab. They offer the AUTOSAR Blockset. So let's see the definition first of AUTOSAR. So according to Wikipedia, AUTOSAR, which means stand for the Automotive Open System Architecture. So short by AUTOSAR is the developed partnership of automotive interest party found in 2003, and its purpose, the objective to create and establish an open and standardized software architecture for the automotive electric control unit or the issue. So the goals included the scalability to different vehicle and platform variants, and transferability of software, and the consideration of availability and safety requirements, of course. So we have a lot of safety requirements. For example, the ISO 26262, as we already know, or the cooperation between the various partners, and sustainable use of natural resource, and maintainability during the product life cycle. So let's see a little bit about what is the product life cycle. So basically we have the four phases. The first one is concept, the phase two is design, the phase three rely, and phase four is service. So let's see the history and the form and the benefits. Okay, so we continue with the AUTOSAR. The history of AUTOSAR is from 2003 by BVKPM and Robert Bosch, AG and Daimler and Cement and Volkswagen to promote an open industry standard for the automotive electrical and EE architecture. So in the 2013, AUTOSAR entered a continuous working mode for the Classic platform to maintain the standard and provide the select improvements, include the release the versions 4.2 and 1.0 of the acceptance test. And the software architecture, the AUTOSAR use three-layer architecture, as you know. The first one is basic software, is the standardized software module, mostly with no exclusive automotive software, but offers service need to run the functional part of the upper software layer. And the second one is runtime environment, a middleware which is abstract from the network topology for the inner and intra issue information exchange between the application software component and between the basic software and the application. And the final one is application layers, is the application software components that interact with the runtime environment. So we have the classic platform and adaptive platform, and let's see the visualize here. And here you can see the AUTOSAR's main website from AUTOSAR.org. So let's come back to the home standard. Here, and you can see the user group and standard. They offer classic platform. Let's see what the classic platform. So as you know, the AUTOSAR Classic platform architecture distinguished on the highest abstraction level between the three software layers. We can know the microcontrollers, application runtime environments, ORT, and the basic software. And the application software layer is mostly hardware independent, and the combination between the software component and access to BS and gaps with the runtime environment. And the basic software environment is divided into three major layers and complex driver, service issue, and micro abstraction. So here is the 3D layer, application layer, runtime environment, and the microcontroller. So you can click here to see more information. So for example, classic release, newest. So you can see here the simplified AUTOSAR layer architecture. We have application layer, and then we have the AUTOSAR runtime environment layer, and then we have service layer and microcontroller. Oh, and then you can see here the two PDF file which is download from Matlab Simulink. You can go to the Matlab website to download it. The first one is AUTOSAR Blockset, which is includes all different about AUTOSAR Blockset. And the second one is they offer the AUTOSAR the usual guys, which is over 500 almost 600 page, and this one is almost 200 page. So you guys can download it and see your very detail. And if you want to learn the AUTOSAR by yourself. So in this video, we are not going into detail, but we will looking overview of AUTOSAR supports. First one is AUTOSAR standard. Comparison between the two AUTOSAR Classic platform and Adaptive platform, and then the AUTOSAR software component and composition, and workflow of AUTOSAR workflow sample, develop AUTOSAR software component model, and then the modeling pattern for the AUTOSAR component. The chapter 3 is AUTOSAR component creation, 4 AUTOSAR component development. Okay, so let's see the chapter 1 first, the AUTOSAR standard. So say for the website, the AUTOSAR standard, we can mean an open and standardized automotive software architecture consists of 3 layers: application, runtime environment, and basic software. And the AUTOSAR standard address the architecture, the methodology, the foundation, and the application interface. So here is the comparison between the two AUTOSAR platform, between the classic platform and adaptive platform. Okay, so adaptive platform is distributed computing and service-oriented architecture, or SOA. The platform provides high-performance computing, message-based communication, mechanic, and flexible software configuration for supporting applications such as the automate driving and information system. So if you want to get this PDF, then you can download it in Matlab, or you can email to me and share with you, of course. So the next step we will see the AUTOSAR Blockset in the Matlab Simulink software. So first one we will open the Simulink. I enter the Simulink, and then we will see the Simulink appear, and you can find the Simulink. The AUTOSAR Blockset here in the new example. So they have the software component, the software component adaptive, and the software architecture. So let's see it after. One way from you can learn is the documentation from Matlab Simulink. So here you can visit to the documentation home. I will open in the new tab, and you can see. And then you will go to the AUTOSAR Blockset here, and we will learn all the AUTOSAR Blockset from get started, software component modeling, the adaptive software component modeling, and the composition and issue software simulation, and the software architecture modeling. So let's see. And you can download the PDF documentation here directly on the Matlab software. So let's see what the so you need to enter the email. I will enter my email. Yes, So you check it, so you can see the three documentation, the AUTOSAR user guides at your PDF file, the user guide here, and the reference and the AUTOSAR process reference note. So you can go here to download it. Okay, so here is AUTOSAR process support the C and C++ production code generation with an embedded coder, and you qualify for you with the ISO 26262 standard with the IEC Certification Kit. So we let's open the get started here. Open the new tab, and then AUTOSAR Project provide app and blocks for developing AUTOSAR Classic and Adaptive software using the Simulink models. So you can design and map the Simulink model to a software component using the AUTOSAR Component Designer. Alternatively, the Blockset let you generate a new Simulink model for AUTOSAR by import the software component model and composition distribution from AUTOSAR XML file. Showcase the AUTOSAR software component, the step 1 to step 4, the adaptive software component, step 1 to step 4. Okay, and here we about AUTOSAR and Simulink, AUTOSAR standard. So let's see what is AUTOSAR standard here. Okay, so all theories in the book file we already know. Here is the layer. Okay, so we can see one example from create and config the AUTOSAR software component. So in order to create an AUTOSAR software component and model from the algorithm model, AUTOSAR process software support the automotive open system architecture and open and standard on Bluetooth. An open and standardized automotive software architecture, automotive manufacturer supplier and to develop and join develop AUTOSAR component. To develop the AUTOSAR component in Simulink, you need to follow the workflow. First one is create a Simulink presentation of AUTOSAR component. The second is develop the component by refining the AUTOSAR configuration and creating algorithm model content. And three is generate AUTOSAR file description and algorithm C code for testing in Simulink and or integration into AUTOSAR runtime environment. So the first one is create AUTOSAR software component in Simulink. Okay, so we let's learn step by step. To create the initial Simulink presentation of AUTOSAR software component, you take one of the items. So to create the AUTOSAR software component using the existing Simulink model and import AUTOSAR software component description from file to Simulink model. Okay, to create software using existing model, first open the Simulink from AUTOSAR software. So okay, let's see open the live script here to see what they offer. Okay, so create AUTOSAR, the similar one. So let's open this one to copy paste to the command window. Okay, so we can. So after that we have the model AUTOSAR example. So let's go to the next step. In the model windows, on the modeling tab, select the model setting. Okay, so I will zoom out a little bit this one for you guys. And let's see. In the model window, so the model window here, I click in the model setting. In the code generation panel, you set the Simulink second file to AUTOSAR. I will set it to the AUTOSAR .doc. Okay, and then apply. Okay. Okay. So the next one is to configure the model at the map AUTOSAR software component. Open the AUTOSAR on clicking app, and we're clicking on the AUTOSAR designers. Here, I will search AUTOSAR component designer here, and then we have the window AUTOSAR component quick start. So we have the map model AUTOSAR software, the component name, the component package component, and the component type is application sensor. So we choose application, and then we click on the next one, is set interface, and we choose the create the default based on Simulink model, and then next we are finished. So finally we click on the finish one. Okay, perfect. So we already configured the AUTOSAR software component in Simulink, and the AUTOSAR code respective display our model as a property inspector panel, so you can direct it below and the code mapping editor. So let's see the property inspector. We have all information from property, the info, and the execution here, and we have description model. And then the next one we will see the code mapping here in the window below. Then I will give it here. Okay, so we have all the code mapping of AUTOSAR software component. We have function, inputs, outputs, parameter, data store, signal state, data transfer, and function callers. So let's say the function, the import, we have the two imports. Okay, import one and import two here. And the outputs also we have the output one and output two. Okay, so in the code mapping, we will see the two buttons. The first one is the first one is the AUTOSAR dictionary. So in order to configure the AUTOSAR property of the map AUTOSAR software, open the AUTOSAR dictionary. So you open it, and then we see all the software component. So let's see the result. Receive one. Okay, so the AUTOSAR dictionary displays the map AUTOSAR component and if element. So let's see the what they guys. The AUTOSAR dictionary software address and XML option. So use the dictionary to configure the AUTOSAR element and property from AUTOSAR component perspective. Okay, so the final one is genesis code and description. If you have code there, you can put the AUTOSAR model. To put the AUTOSAR model generates AUTOSAR compile C code and export to the AUTOSAR file, and the model window press Ctrl B and AUTOSAR click on the generate code. Okay, so let's do it. So let's see what the observe interface, MS interface. Okay, option. All right. So let's click on generate code. Okay, perfect. So after that, we have the one code C here. You can see in the right side of my window. So here is a code generation report also. So very detailed, very useful. For this one, we have summaries, code generation reports for this file, advocacy, the others module, and modify by module version, and code information here. Okay, subsystem report. We have code mapping. The following table provide the mapping from a non-visual subsystem in the model to function or real function into the code. And then we have the code interface report. So we have the inside function, apport, interface parameters, data store, loaded in the model, of course. And then we have the traceability report. Very detailed, very useful, I think so. And then we have static code message report, code elements report, and code assumption. Okay, so let's see the advocacy file here. You can click here to see a report. Zero relate generate a report false. Okay, so here is okay. So you no need to have the code skin. You can generate directly from AUTOSAR software. We need to pay and runtime payment. So let's click on the OK button. Okay, so what you can to summarize what we can learn in this today. So we already look at the AUTOSAR definition, all the source documentation you can find from Matlab Simulink, and then we will discuss later, and we run the one simulation from the Matlab Simulink software. So I hope you guys enjoy this Simulink software AUTOSAR video. And thank you very much for the watching, and I hope you can learn more about the AUTOSAR, the one of course this is a new topic in these channels, and hope you enjoy learning more, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.